Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe here. Good to see you. Today, I'm going to be talking about a topic that applies to everyone. It's very important. What is it? That's right, self-introductions. As we already know, when we meet somebody new, it is very important to introduce yourself. And as you know, you can say your name and your age and other things. But sometimes we might be a little bit scared or not sure what to say. You might be thinking, should I say this or should I say that? So I'm going to give you a few tips that will make it a little bit easier for you to introduce yourself without worrying. The first tip is, let me introduce myself. So as you guys know from learning in elementary school or in education, let me introduce myself was taught in schools, but let me tell you this. Please do not use it when you are introducing yourself, because it's only going to make you look awkward and it's going to make the situation look very awkward or feel very awkward. So remember, do not use let me introduce myself. For example, you can use words like, hello, my name is Joe, or hi, nice to meet you, I'm Joe, instead of let me introduce myself. Number two, the second tip is age. Now in Korea, the culture here is very, very particular about age. It can be a very sensitive topic too. But as you learned in English class in Korea, when somebody says, how old are you? Usually you think, oh, I just say I'm 39 years old. That sounds great, but it kind of sounds almost like just something out of a textbook. So to make it more comfortable for you, you can just take out years old and just say I'm 39 or I'm 25. The third tip is nationality. So usually when somebody says, where do you come from? Or where are you from? Usually the automatic answer is, I come from Korea, or I am from Korea. But again, that sounds very textbook-like and very kind of awkward. So instead, you can just shorten it even more and you can say, I'm from Korea. There's no need to tell them that you are Korean, because I'm from Korea is enough, right? Or you can say I'm from South Korea, just in case people get confused. Also, make sure that your pronunciation is very, very similar to water. Instead of saying I'm from Korea, you can say I'm from Korea. You can tell that there's a big difference between Korea and Korea. So make sure that you kind of relax when you say the word Korea. Then you won't sound very robotic or strange to people when they hear you. All right, the fourth tip is hobbies. Now usually you hear people saying, my hobby is blank. My hobby is watching Netflix. But again, as I said in other tips, it sounds very just similar to what you see in the textbook. Now if you want to sound more natural, or what people in America usually say, instead of my hobby is, you can say I enjoy or I like. So for example, I enjoy K-pop and I like spicy food. All right, so the last point, the fifth tip is work and school. Now, most of the time, if you were to be asked, where do you work or what is your job? Usually most Korean people say, I am an office worker. But to be honest, that kind of sounds very weird and very kind of not normal. That doesn't mean it's bad, it just doesn't sound very natural to many people. So instead, you can say, I work at Nike, or I work for Apple. That's more natural and usually more commonly used with people who speak English. Also, when you want to talk about college, you can say, I'm in college, or you can say I'm a freshman, or sophomore, or junior, or senior, right? You don't have to say I attend Yonsei University. You can say I'm in college if you don't want to share the name or exact place that you attend, because it could be private information, right? So make sure. All right, so I gave you a few tips, but maybe it's best that I give you an example of how I would introduce myself, just so that you can kind of understand how somebody who is a native speaker can introduce themselves. Now, it's not spectacular, but this is just something that to help you to make it easier for you to introduce yourself. All right, here is my example. Hello, everyone. I'm Joe. I'm from the United States, and I'm 39. I'm currently an English teacher here in Seoul. I enjoy listening to music and eating delicious food with my friends. It's nice to meet all of you, and I hope that I can see you soon. So there you go. That's kind of my example that I would give. It again doesn't sound perfect, but you can see that it's a little bit shorter and not too long. So you can try it, and you can also remake or remix your own way as well. Alright guys, so again, we learned 5 different tips on how to make your introduction a little bit more natural. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave some comments in the comment section under the video. And if you need any feedback, feel free to also ask questions as well, and I will do my best to answer each and everyone's question to the best of my ability. And remember, English doesn't have to be hard. It can be very fun and simple. Alright guys, well this was Joe, and thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.